Welcome back. So slicing and dicing is what you will be doing a lot when you're dealing with data. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is so there are two ways to slice. One is where you specify the row names and column names. Okay, so in this case the row name is we changed the row name. Okay, so let's go back to the data frame we are dealing with. Okay, so this is the data frame we were working with. We changed the row indices to city. Okay, and we have the column names. Right now, if I want to get the data frame back, okay, so I can do it with two ways. Okay, lock, which is the location base, where you specify the actual name of the cities or cities, okay, the actual row names, and then your actual column names. Okay, so for example, if I were to just do this, okay, this two dots on for the row location. So this is the row location and this is the column location. Okay, so if I were to do this, I will get the entire data frame back, or I can do based on index, visualization index. Okay, so if I do iloc, so there are two ways to extract information from partial information or part of, or querying a data set basically. Okay, so you're basically querying a data set. Okay, if I want location based or the visualization index based, I'll do iloc. If I were to do by name, I will use lock. Okay, so iloc is giving me the same data frame. Okay, so let's say I want to get 1, okay, which is row 1, okay, by iloc. So row location 1, and you will see you will get information for Salt Lake City or Utah. Okay, so Salt Lake City row. Okay, because just to go back, this is 1, 0 and 1. So 1 is the location of Salt Lake City. So this is the index for Salt Lake City. Okay, and that's why when we do 1, you get iloc. You get the information with respect to the row Salt Lake City. Okay, you have Utah state, income, and so on. Right. If I were to use lock instead of iloc, you will see I'll get an error. Okay, and it makes sense because it is expecting the actual name when you use lock, but you're giving it an indices or the visualization index. Okay, so instead of that, what I will have to do is I will have to call it salt. Okay, that's a long name, and then I will get whatever information we're looking at. So when you use lock, you actually have to give the name. When you use iloc, you have to give the location. Okay, so that's the difference between lock and iloc, and you'll typically be using either of them. Okay, most of the time. Okay, so let me I just want to say iloc. I want to store this thing iloc 1. Okay, and you want to separate that by a comma. Okay, so this is the row location, this is the column location. Okay, we can extract a column, okay, just by df.state. Okay, so it'll give you all information in a column. Okay, so what is df.state, and we know what the df is. So we are extracting the entire state column. We are getting the column out of the data frame. Okay, we can do it this way, df.state, or we can do it df square bracket with quote unquote state. Okay, we can do that, or we can do df.lock. Okay, so we can actually specify the name of the column using lock. Okay, same way. So I typically use, I like to follow one pattern, and I want to use that consistently, and I typically would revert to lock almost all the time, because and I'll show you the reason why. Okay, you can of course extract two columns at one. Oh, sorry, no, this is not two columns. This is extracting the El Paso city, which is the index df.lock, and you're extracting one value out of the state column. Okay, which corresponds to El Paso index. So just to make sure you understand what this is doing, what this line of code is doing. El Paso is right here. So the row name is El Paso, and the column name is state. So it's basically extracting the intersection of this row name El Paso and column name state. Okay, and this is what this piece of code is doing. Okay. So we talked about visualization index. Okay, we can extract the entire column 0. What is column 0? Column 0 is basically the state. We can also extract, so 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so 0 is giving you the state, 4 is going to give you the last column, which is the cost of living index. Okay, okay, ilog 70. Okay, what is this doing? It is going in and extracting. Okay, so let's go back to the df, our df. What is ilog? So now it is looking at I is the visualization index. Okay, so it's going by the index, which is number. Okay, so it's looking at row 7. Okay, and column 0. Okay, so what is row 7? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and column 0, which is state. So it's still going to extract Texas. Let's see, we get that. Yes, we get that. Okay, so that's a bit on visualization index and location based index by name and by number. Okay, so we have to remember that we're going to use that over and over again. Okay, and this is basically something which is going to come in very handy.